Hello everyone, welcome to the 140 Q&A practice. Let's see, defense will be questioning. Ready? When was the last time that you went to that particular place? I have no idea because I couldn't tell you when I started or when I ended at that place. You're still treating with Dr. Mackay? Uh-huh. That's yes, right? Yes. And you've been treating with him for a long period of time, correct? Yes. Has he always been doing some chiropractic adjustments on you? Yes. Was he still doing adjustments on you when you went to see this other chiropractor upstairs from Dr. Billick's office? I think that, just to make the record clear, I think she spoke of that person as a physical therapist, just to make the record clear. Let me re-ask the question so you understand. Were you still undergoing treatment with Dr. Mackay at the same time that you were undergoing physical therapy with the doctor who was above Dr. Billick? I'm not sure of that answer, but I think he's the one that told me to go there. Dr. Mackay referred you to that place? Yes, I'm pretty sure. And was it Dr. Mackay who said they shouldn't have been doing what they were doing? No, I believe not. Who was the one that said they shouldn't have been giving you that stimulation? Well, when we went to that other physical therapy, they told us because it can ruin my back and, the age or whatever. But I still, when we went down there on vacation, we never went back to that place. We went to a different place. You've been to at least 2 different physical therapists? 3. You went to this one above Dr. Billick's office? Yes. And you don't remember the name of that place? No. You went to Dr. Kearney, but he was a chiropractor, right? Yes. Dr. Mackay is a chiropractor and actually, I think he's an osteopath, a DO. That's now a physician. Yes. Who are the other 2 physical therapists you've been to? Well, the one upstairs and then the one in Riverside on Brockton. And then there was one it's not called Dr. Noko's. It's Dr. Nako's office. I don't remember the name, but we stopped going there because they lost their head therapist. There's only assistants there. So we stopped going there. Let me stop you there. You mentioned a Dr. Nako? Well, it's next door. My mom used to work there, and that's how she heard of that place. So that's why we went there. Do you know what street that therapist is located on? It's by Hospital Hill. Is that in Victorville? Yes. Is the name of the street called Hospital Hill? No. Or is it? But it's a road where a lot of the doctors reside or work? Yes. Do you know what hospital is located in that area? Well, I think the Victor Valley Hospital. So you've been to 3 therapists, at least 1 chiropractor, Dr. Kearney. You had your osteopath, Dr. Mackay. Dr. Mackay is the osteopath. You've been to Dr. Billick. You went to a hospital for a bone scan. And you don't remember which hospital that was? Yeah. And when I include the therapists, I'm including the ones that you have just described to me. Do you remember any others other than that? Other treaters other than what you have just listed? No, ma'am. Dr. Mackay right now is your only treating doctor, right? Yes. For this accident? Yes. Do you have a pediatrician? I guess that would be Dr. Billick. So would you consider Dr. Billick your family doctor? If you had a cold, yes, or something, you'd go to him? Yes. All right, I'm going to switch transcripts. This next transcript, I'm going to give you a short word list. Okay, you're going to hear wallet, bail bondsman, particular, survivor, discussion, evening. Okay, and this is going to start with defense. Is that a man that's seated here in the courtroom now? Yes. How long did those 3 men remain there at your home? Well, the exact time I really couldn't say, but whatever time that survivor was off the TV is when they left. Was it during the evening? Yes. Before midnight? Yes. Did the 3 men leave together? Yes. Before they left, was there any discussion or talk going on about any particular thing that evening? Yes, they were supposed to go and see a bail bondsman to get my oldest son out of jail on bail. Is that the reason that they left, as far as you could tell? Yes. Now, did your husband have a wallet that evening? Yes. Did he take his wallet out of his pocket that you could see? Yes. Did he take his wallet out of his pocket in the presence or in the place where Mr. Thomas was at that time? Yes. Was that in your home? Yes. And for what purpose did your husband take his wallet out of his pocket in front of Mr. Thomas? Looking for his bail bondsman's card. Was there money in the wallet? Yes. Was that visible? Yes. All right, switching transcripts. This has a little bit more of the colloquy, which is great practice. Here we go. It's going to start with the court. People versus Monty, Halleck, and Hawkins, and People versus Varla. The record reflects each of the defendants are present, represented by counsel. District attorney is present. Investigating officer is present. And is there anything we need to do before we bring the jurors in? Your Honor, apparently they want to do a 402. I'm seeking the admission of the statement of Mr. Halleck pursuant to 1220 of the Evidence Code of Mr. Halleck when he was interviewed by Detective Anderson, and this is page 6 of Detective Anderson's report, and it is dated 8/31 of 2004. The report indicates that when he interviewed Mr. Halleck told him that he knew the victim because he had seen him in the past, and he stated that he had played football with him for several years. I believe they are relevant. Is the DA even going to bring this up? I'm not getting into any of the statements of Mr. Halleck in my direct examination. Then we don't need to go into it unless you are going to call him for one of your witnesses. I am. We'll deal with it then. Go ahead. Okay. No reason to deal with it today. Perfect. Anything else? Your Honor, just along those same lines, I take it we're not going to get into any of these statements by any of the defendants through this witness today. Don't ask me. Well, no, I'm asking so that if we are, I think we need to address it. No. Okay. Okay, good enough. Let's bring in the red jury followed by the blue jury. The bailiff just told them 9:20. Of course, it's typical of what's going on. All of them are here but 2. Do I have time to run to the... Sure. Going back on the record, in the case of People versus Monty, Halleck, and Hawkins, and People versus Varla, the record should reflect each of the defendants are present, represented by counsel. The district attorney, the investigating officer, is present. We're on the record, counsel. The record should reflect that all are present. Is there anything else we need to do before we bring in the jury? No. No, Your Honor. Let's bring in the red jury, followed by the blue jury. Going back on the record of the case of People versus Monty, Halleck, and Hawkins, and People versus Varla, the record will reflect each of the defendants are present, represented by counsel. The district attorney is present. Investigating officer is present. All members of each of the respective juries are present. At this time, investigator officer can return to the stand, and we will continue with the examination of the officer. And you may continue. Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Anderson, one of the things we discussed last, I guess it was Thursday, during your testimony is the search of the Hawkins residence up on View Street. Do you recall that? Yes, sir. And you indicated 2 of the times that were seized were an address book and a letter. Is that correct? Yes. May I approach? You may. Showing you People's 37. Is this the address book you were speaking of seizing? Yes, it is. Could you return it to that envelope, please? And is this the letter you seized from that residence, People's Exhibit 38? Yes, it is. I believe you also seized some clothing from the residence. Is that correct? Yes, sir. May I approach again, Your Honor? You may. People's Exhibit 33 is a black t-shirt. Was that seized from the Hawkins residence? Open it. Is it sealed at this time? Yes. Is that your handwriting on the front of that? Yes, it is. That was placed there when you seized this item? Yes, it was. And People's Exhibit 34, is this a pair of black Levi's that were seized from the Hawkins residence on September 2nd, 2004? Yes, it is. When Salvador Varla was arrested, you seized a pair of Vans tennis shoes that he was wearing. Is that correct? Yes. When you were out at the crime scene collecting evidence at the crime scene and examining the area for physical evidence, you did an examination of Mark Walker's body and his clothing and shoes. Is that correct? Yes. Did you note if there was any dust or dirt on any of his shoes or clothes? None. All right, so that concludes the Q&A practice for the 140 class. Have a great day.